it was definitely not a fun process at all. So that I I would definitely say that it is worth it to choose recovery though, because there is so much that I would have missed out on if I hadn't chosen to get better. Um, so even though it still takes work, like I'm recovered now, but there are still things that are hard. There are always going to be things that are hard, and I like to say like recovery, it's not something like it's not magical. Like it just doesn't happen right away. It's always going to be a process, and I think I don't know. Sorry. um, I I think that for me now I can look back on the whole experience and it almost feels like it was another lifetime ago. So I think that if that should offer hope to people in the middle of it, because when you're stuck in an eating disorder, all you can think about is food and your appearance and how you'll never be good enough. And it's just this constant kind of like battle in your head of like against like your logical side against your like emotional anxious side. And so for me to be able to now separate that and like look back on it like it was something that happened a long time ago, that's awesome. Like I definitely think that it is possible to get better from one, and that's kind of just what I want to promote. Like recovery is hard, but it is definitely possible.
A lot of people aren't familiar with how much it takes to get better from these illnesses, and like everybody understands cancer and feels so empathetic towards people when their kids have cancer, but when you're struggling with an illness like this, you're very isolated and it's just as intensive. So I think if we can reach anybody who's struggled similarly, you're not alone, and people deserve empathy and to be treated the same way because it's out of their control and it is a brain disorder. I mean, her brain chemistry was so off that she had these thoughts. So when you starve yourself that much, your brain can't function.
It's extremely rare for Maria or I to see somebody with just an eating disorder. There is almost always what we call comorbidity, so an additionally existing anxiety or depressive disorder. And it's really difficult to tease out which came first. It really depends, like Marissa said, on the individual. But what a lot of the studies seem to show is a significant percentage of women who suffer from eating disorders had met the criteria for an anxiety disorder by the time that they were in middle school. So when they retroactively look at their history, they were already having an anxiety disorder by the time they were in middle school. So that seemed to preempt the eating disorder. But sometimes the eating disorder will start, and then because of the malnutrition and because of the impact on one's thinking, then something else follows, like anxiety or depression. So it is really difficult to tease them out, but it is extremely common for those to coexist together.